Hi, welcome to my video on complementary and supplementary angles. Complementary and supplementary angles. Complementary angle have a measure of 90 degrees. 90. They add up to 90. Which pair are complementary? So 20 plus 70 makes 90. 42 plus 47 makes 89. They are not complementary. 60 plus 30 add up to 90, so they're complementary. Complementary angles are two angles that have a sum of 90 degrees. D, PT is perpendicular to TH, so PT is perpendicular to TH, so 1 and 2 are complementary. Oops, spell complementary. They're complementary angles because perpendicular lines, these two lines are perpendicular, so that's a right angle right there. So anytime you have perpendicular lines and you have, notice that these two angles are adjacent. They have a common ray, they have a common vertex, and there's no overlapping. 1 is right there, 2 is there. So perpendicular lines have complementary angles. Notice A and B. A and B, notice there's angle A and angle B. Angle A and angle B are not complementary. Are not complementary because they're more than 90. The sum of an angle and its complement, so if we take an angle and add on its complement, you should get 90 degrees. So in that case, if we have 20, so we take 90 and subtract 20, we get 70. So that means 20 and 70 add up to 90. So 20 plus 70 makes 90. 60, what angle added on to 60 gives you 90? And the answer, well, if you take 90 and subtract 60, you'll get 30. So 60 plus 30, these are degrees now, give you 90. If you take 90 degrees and subtract 83, you get 7. So that means 83 plus 7 gives you 90. If you got 10 degrees, 90, subtract 10, you get 80. So that means 10 degrees plus 80 gives you 90. So the complement of 20 is 70. Complement of 60 is, that's degree now. Just make sure. Sometimes people don't put degrees in. So the complement of 80, the 10 is 80. The complement of 83 is 7. Complement of 60 is 30. Complement of 20 is 70. Why? When you add these two up, you get 90. So see if you can find a complement of these angles right here. Pause the video, write down your answers to see if you're right. 35. So 90 minus 35 is 55. So 35, add on 55, gives you 90 degrees. 70. 90 take away 70 is 20. So 70 plus 20 gives you 90. So the complement of 70 is 20. 19. 90 take away 19 is 71. So 19 plus 71 gives you 90. 45, the complement of 45 is 45. 90 take away 45 gives you 45. So 45 degrees, add on 45 degrees, gives you 90. So the sum of two angles that add up to 90 are said to be complementary to each other. What is the measure of each angle if they're equal and complementary? So if these two angles add up to 90 and they're equal to each other, so if they're equal, that means you must be taking a half of 90. So half of 90 is 45 and 45. So the measure of the angle that's equal to each other and add up to 90 is 45. You do that by taking a half of 90. Next page. Supplementary angles. Supplementary angles have a measure of 180. A little tip that I use to remember this, and it might seem trivial, in relation to degrees, complementary angles add up to 90. Supplementary angles add up to 180. You say, okay, but notice that in the alphabet, C is first and S is after. So what's first, 90 or 180? So C is before S, 90 for 180. So complementary goes with 90, supplementary goes with 180. There are times when I do the math, this is the way that I worked out, or say learned some of the math by associating little tricks. Helped me learn as I was going to school. Which angles are supplementary? Supplementary, 120 plus a 60 is 180. And the answer is yes. Again, put the degrees in. 45, add on 135, adds up to 180. So they're supplementary. 115, add on 55, gives me 170. No, they're not supplementary. D. Notice we have right straight across here. So that's a straight angle. So they add up to 180. And the answer is yes, they're supplementary. Notice 40, add on 140, and you get 180. And the answer is yes. Because that's a straight angle. A straight angle is right straight across. If you take a protractor, which I have right here, and if you notice, when you go right straight across, if I lodge this down, if you go right straight across your protractor, like that, right straight across, you have 180 degrees. 180, right straight over. 180. So, if two angles add up, make a straight angle, then the two angles are supplementary. The sum of an angle and its supplement is 180. Again, complementary adds up to 90, supplementary adds up to 180. C is before S, 90 is before 180. If an angle is 130, subtract, you get 50. 130 and 50 make up 180. 180 take away 80 is 100. So 80 plus 100 is 180. 180 take away 116 is 64. So 116 plus 64 makes 180. 180 subtract 27 gives you 153. So 27 plus 153 gives you 180. So there are the supplements. Practice means pause your video, you work these out, and see if you're going to get them right. And press play when you're got them all done. Supplement of 60, 180, subtract 60 is 120. 60 plus 120 gives you 180. 169 taken away from 180 is 11. 169, add on 11 degrees, gives you 180 degrees. 90, 180 take away 90 is 90. So 90 plus 90 is 180. 180 subtract 132 is 48 degrees, because 132 add on 48 gives me 180. So notice the supplements of these. Two angles that are equal and supplementary. Well, there they are. 90. if these two angles add up to 180 and they're equal, that means they gotta be 90 each. So if you divide 180 by 2, you get 90. Because they're equal, you divide, like complementary, you divide by 2, you get 45 each. Supplementary, divide by 2, you get 90 each. More practice, but now we're doing both. If we have 48 we want as complement, we'll subtract it from 90, so we'll get 42. If we get 70 we want a complement, we subtract from 90, we get 20. If we want 30, the complement of 30, 90 minus 30 is 60. So complement adds up to 90. Supplement adds up to 180. So the supplement of 48 is 132. 48, 132, 180, 70, and 110 gives me 180. And 30 and 150. Notice 180 minus 48, 132. 180 minus 70 gives you 110. 180 minus 30 gives you 150. So if you add these up, you get 180. If you add these up, you get 90. Again, just doing the two of them. So complementary adds up to 90. Supplementary adds up to 180. C before S, 90 before 180. That takes us to the end of complementary and supplementary. You'll see them in your geometry coming through on more videos and more units that I'm going to do. If you like my video, click on the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell, and write a comment on my video if you wish. And visit my math website at www.mathfullyexplained.com. And you have 3 sections. And the first section is on me, which tells you about my degrees and teaching experience. Second section is about the teaching strategies you're going to use to help you learn your math. And the third section is on contents, gives you the units that I'm going to have online and the number of videos on each unit. And the black content is what I have already online, and the red content is what I'll be developing in the future. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.